The courtroom was packed when Judge Callahan slammed her gavel and screamed, "Stand up when I speak to you, boy." The whole room froze. A black veteran, Marcus Hale, stood quietly, hands behind his back, calm like a soldier. But the judge wasn't done humiliating him. She laughed and said, "You veterans act disciplined, but you're all the same. Loud, stubborn, and always playing the victim." People in the court gasped. Even the bailiff looked uncomfortable. Marcus whispered, "Your Honor, with respect." She cut him off. "Respect? From you? Not an MY courtroom." Then she did the unthinkable. She doubled his charges, ordered a $75,000 bail, and told the bailiff, "Teach him how this courtroom works." The bailiff shoved Marcus so hard he hit the wall. The gallery went silent. No one moved. No one breathed. They had no idea. The nobody she mocked was the man who investigates every judge in the entire state, including her. Before we dive in, drop your city or country in the comments. I want to see how far this story travels. And if you believe justice always finds a way, hit that like button and subscribe. Let's show the world that truth can't be silenced. The courtroom smelled of stale paper and cheap disinfectant. Judge Eleanor Crane, a woman whose black robes seemed to swallow every bit of light, sat perched like a queen on her throne. Her sharp eyes scanned the defendants, landing on one man in particular, a black veteran named Marcus Hale, disheveled, calm, and seemingly unassuming. "Mr. Hale," she snapped, "you're a vagrant, jobless, and a menace to this community. I expect respect in my court." Her gavel slammed, echoing like a warning shot. The crowd flinched. Marcus looked up slowly, his expression unreadable, his military posture barely concealed under the rumpled jacket. A young public defender, nervous and trembling, stepped forward. "Your Honor, my client pleads not guilty," she began. But Crane waved her off, her lips curling in a cruel smile. "You think you deserve the same treatment as the wealthy? Think again." She banged the gavel again. "Bail is set at $50,000. Remain in custody until your trial." Gasps filled the gallery. The veteran didn't protest. He didn't flinch. Every word from the judge, every sneer, every malicious assumption, he recorded, not just in his mind, but in a hidden transmitter, feeding live audio to a team watching nearby. Outside, FBI agents watched, tense. Marcus Hale wasn't just a defendant. He wasn't just a victim of prejudice. He was the director of the very agency responsible for investigating judicial corruption. And for months, he had been building a case against the system, against this judge, and against every lie she had ever enforced from that bench. As the gavel echoed again, Marcus didn't feel fear. He felt purpose. He was about to turn this courtroom upside down. And Judge Crane had no idea who she had just humiliated. The courtroom buzzed like a live wire as Judge Crane prepared to continue her tirade. She smirked, clearly enjoying the spectacle of Marcus Hale, the black veteran, standing silent before her. "Do you have anything to say for yourself, Mr. Hale?" she sneered, leaning forward as if her chair alone could intimidate him. Marcus's eyes met hers, steady, unyielding. "Your Honor," he said calmly, "I am here to answer for my actions. But I will also make sure every action taken in this court is accountable." His words barely seemed loud enough to reach the first row, but they carried a weight that made several lawyers shift uneasily. The gallery erupted in whispers. How could a man under arrest command this kind of presence? Judge Crane's jaw tightened. She banged the gavel, demanding silence. "Enough. You will speak only when spoken to." Marcus didn't move, didn't flinch. He simply tapped a small device under his sleeve, sending live evidence from months of hidden recordings straight to federal investigators. Outside the court, agents tensed, watching the chaos unfold in real time. Then Crane made a critical mistake. "You think your fancy titles and connections will save you," she spat, pointing a trembling finger. "I hold the power here." Marcus smiled faintly. That one word, power, was the exact lever he had been waiting for. Within minutes, notifications started pinging on every screen connected to the case. Emails, audio recordings, and internal complaints against her corruption began surfacing. Every patron in the gallery, every lawyer, every officer, none knew exactly what was happening yet, but tension crackled in the air like lightning before a storm. Judge Crane's confident posture faltered slightly. Marcus's calm, controlled demeanor clashed violently with her panic. He had the evidence, the authority, and the timing. Every insult she hurled now would rebound directly back at her. And in that moment, the courtroom became a battlefield, not of fists, but of truth versus arrogance, of justice finally confronting unchecked power. Suddenly, the courtroom doors burst open. Federal agents, previously unnoticed, stepped in with an air of authority that silenced everyone. Judge Crane's smirk faltered. She had no idea what was about to hit her. Marcus Hale remained calm, almost eerily composed. He finally spoke, his voice carrying across the tense room. "Your Honor, I believe you should be fully aware of who's been monitoring these proceedings." He raised his tablet, projecting confidential files, emails, and recordings onto the large courtroom screen. Every corrupt action, every biased ruling, every abuse of power Crane had committed was now visible for all to see. Gasps erupted. Lawyers leaned forward. Spectators whispered frantically. The judge's face drained of color. This is impossible," she stammered, realizing that Marcus wasn't just any defendant, he was the head of the federal agency that investigated judicial misconduct. The room froze. The whispers turned into murmurs of shock. Cameras caught the exact moment of her public humiliation. Judges, officers, and the press, everyone watching knew, the tables had turned completely. Marcus walked calmly to the center, pointing out the specific violations and instances of corruption, each revelation hitting harder than the last. Judge Crane tried to interrupt, tried to regain control, but her words fell flat. Every insult, every threat, bounced right back, amplified by the evidence displayed for the nation to see. The courtroom felt electrified, charged with the sudden shift of power. Marcus didn't just win this argument, he had exposed the entire facade. Public opinion was forming in real time, and it was not in her favor. By the time Crane attempted to gavel for order, it was too late. The story had already leaked to federal offices and newsrooms. The very system she thought she controlled had turned against her, all because she had underestimated the quiet, disciplined veteran standing before her. The courtroom descended into stunned silence. Judge Crane sat frozen, her authority shattered in front of everyone. Marcus Hale didn't gloat, he simply stood tall, a symbol of discipline and unwavering justice. The judge's attempts to speak were drowned out by the murmurs of the courtroom, lawyers, spectators, and officers now fully aware of her misconduct. Federal investigators quietly stepped forward, confirming the authenticity of Marcus's evidence. Every accusation, every file, every secret document was verified. Marcus spoke one final time, his tone calm but unwavering. "Justice isn't about who wears the robe. It's about integrity, accountability, and truth." Every word resonated like a hammer against corruption. Judge Crane was formally removed from the case and placed under investigation. News of her misdeeds spread rapidly, dominating headlines and social media. Public outrage was immediate, with citizens demanding accountability. Marcus's composure in the face of arrogance became a symbol, a reminder that no position of power could protect someone from the consequences of their actions. Outside the courthouse, reporters clamored for statements. Marcus refused interviews, letting the evidence speak for itself. Families, veterans, and ordinary citizens watching the events unfold felt a surge of hope. A system designed to protect the powerful had finally delivered justice, proving that courage, knowledge, and integrity could topple even the most untouchable figures. As Marcus walked away, calm and collected, the weight of the moment sank in. A black veteran had exposed a corrupt judge, not with rage, but with unwavering strategy and truth. And in that act, justice had not only been served, it had become a powerful message for everyone who believed the law was blind to privilege.